Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye and today's YouTube video is a bonus video for this week. It's almost keeping with the week's theme of Kraken Unleashed. Almost. But I felt like I should feature this video this week anyway because this video features, well, what is the closest victory I've ever had. You've already seen what's been the closest defeat I've ever seen. Now you can see the closest victory I've ever achieved. Although this isn't solely down to myself achieving the victory, as it will be a team effort here at the very end. As the battle gets underway, it's the North map on Winter, or the Northern Lights map, which is my other favorite iteration of this map. It's domination match mode and I'm headed towards C. Enemy cruiser up there, I've already smacked him good with a citadel as I get my ship turned so that I can get my rear guns to bear. Now initially I'm trying to push up to the C cap point. The enemy team is already in the process of capping A. It's important to pay attention to the cap counters and those points, because that is what's going to make this game so ridiculously close. Another enemy ship up there, smack him for a citadel, and I'm doing reasonable damage, but I'm not getting those kill shots. Get set on fire by this cruiser, really annoying me. Put out the fire off more shots at him, maybe I can get lucky and hit him again. No, RNGesus is not having it, as those shots basically just bracket him completely. Now, I was pushing to the C cap point, but I've decided because of the heat that's located there, I'm actually going to go ahead and push over to B and provide assistance there, as we do have a couple of ships headed this direction. And with any luck, I'll be able to get up there and help cap the location. The enemy team has managed to cap the A cap point, and so that is now going to start accumulating them points. And this is going to give them the all-important points advantage. And in domination match mode, something that people seem to forget, points matter a lot. Somebody commented in a previous Scharnhorst video that the only kill stealer in the game was me based on the average damage per kill that I achieved. Well, as I commented to them, I tend to like to focus my fire around and shoot the targets I know I can kill that are low health to take their guns out of the game, because in domination match mode, every ship you kill earns your team additional points while simultaneously losing the enemy team points. So when you get to a situation where you're in domination match mode and the enemy team is up on points like they are, you have to start getting those kills and getting those caps. Enemy team has already managed to secure a first blood by taking out one of our friendly ships, so that means we are in even worse situation points-wise, but the battle's still pretty early. I've turned my ship around to try and provide help and support for the ships that have been pushed to sea. I've also turned around because if you'll look at the little mini-map there, you can see a big glob of red headed towards the B cap point, and I really don't want to get caught out in the open this early in the battle and focused down by a lot of enemies. So as I push up here, enemy Tirpitz has got himself beached, and he's dealing with a Bismarck and a destroyer, and that's not going to go well for him. Push into the C cap point. The team is taking a lot of hits here at C, so technically right now, because of this, I'm like the only person who's actually capping it. Enemy torpedoes coming in there. I don't think they will hit me, but I'm not going to risk it. No, they don't hit me. Fortunately, they run out of steam. Friendly Destroyer pops a smoke screen. The Tirpitz is no longer visible, but Friendly Destroyer, very low health. We managed to take out another ship, and this should help balance out those points a little bit, but then we immediately lose 2 more ships. Enemy Tirpitz is dead. At this point, I'm not really paying attention to the cap itself, and I'm sailing full steam out of it, so nobody's going to cap this zone. At this point in time, that was a little bit of a mistake because we really needed that cap. Managed to take out an enemy cruiser, again, very low health, take him out of the game and help rebalance those scores. As you can see, the scores are still within about 100 points. But, of course, we have no caps, so while the enemy team in lulls like this, well, there's no killing going on, are gaining a few extra points every few seconds, my team is getting nothing. And we're only down by 1 ship. Enemy battleship coming around this island, and I'm kind of hoping that he'll continue around this island so I can get my torpedoes off and get some nice fat torpedo hits. Swap a little bit of paint with this Bismarck as he pushes around the side here, and it looks like I fire off my torpedoes, and that's when I realized that this enemy battleship, he continued to burn and didn't have a repair or a damage control, so my torpedoes completely wasted on him as he succumbs to the fires that had been set. Enemy cruiser up here, he's looking like a good target, so I get shots out here. With any luck, I'll be able to nail him as well and cause even more damage. Friendly team has finally, again, started to cap the sea cap point, and this is mostly due to our destroyer, who's nearly dead, and that's a good thing for him to do. Stay hidden, just cap. Enemy team, though, they are capping D, which means they're going to have 2 cap points. Managed to help take out that enemy cruiser, and now for the first time in the game, my team is up on ships. But the enemy team still up on points because they've had that 1 cap for so long. My team, though, finally does get the B cap point as I start... I'm sorry, the C cap point as I start pushing towards the B cap point. But I've got ships to deal with that are up here. And here's a full-strength Colorado. Now, the Colorado is broadside onto me, and the Scharnhorst's guns at these kinds of ranges against broadside battleships are actually pretty good. In fact, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll note that the Scharnhorst's guns at long ranges against even bow-on Colorados can still score Citadel hits due to plunging fire. So those are possibilities. My team loses 2 more ships, and it looks like we are now down on ships compared to the enemy. I get torpedoes off down that channel. That Colorado is pushing into the channel. I think he's going to head towards the B cap point. And because there's also an enemy Amagi up here, or a Nagato, I don't want to get caught between 2 battleships, especially not 2 battleships with 16-inch guns. The Scharnhorst might have fantastic armor, especially when it's angled, but against 2 different 16-inch guns coming from 2 different sides, that could be a serious problem. Managed to hit that Colorado for 2 torpedoes and cause flooding, but I don't think that flooding is going to do anything, as he's going to immediately repair that. And of course, why not? If he's got the damage ability and control ability, then repairing that flooding is going to save him, especially since there's nobody shooting at him. So he's not at risk of getting set on fire again. Lose yet another ship, and the enemy team is still up on points, and they're way up on points now, comparatively speaking. So my team really does need to get in here and start capping. I fire off torpedoes again at that Colorado, kind of hoping that he'll sail into them. But also try to get torpedoes off at this other battleship, who is now in range of my secondary batteries. I have enemy torpedoes coming in. Of course, I did see a destroyer back over there, so I know he was there. Looks like that Amagi is going to miss all of my torpedoes. That's a little disappointing. Enemy cruiser up there, the Nuremberg, as he's sailing broadside on. Even at range, I'm going to get shots out there, and hopefully I can hit him, but it doesn't look like my shots managed to land anything. This Amagi here, he's pushing up danger close. He knows I've got torpedoes, so he's trying to turn desperately to avoid them, but he's very low health. Get torpedoes off there. I don't need to hit him with many to kill him. Secure yet another kill. Fire off rounds at that Nuremberg. Can I kill him too? Yes, I do. Double strike with a Scharnhorst. Not the funniest double strike I've gotten. In fact, just yesterday in a ranked battle, I managed to secure a double strike with torpedoes. One on a Gneisenau and one on a Shiriatsu. It's always fun to get double strikes, especially in battleships, and especially with torpedoes. That Colorado has repaired some of his health, and the enemy team is now in the process of capping C. The enemy team has 2 destroyers left, and this could be a problem. Now I know one of the destroyers is back behind me as he's shooting at me, and I'm pretty sure I'm well aware that the destroyer that's in that smokescreen is the Boiskavika. The only question is, where is that other destroyer? Because that destroyer is a sneaky Japanese destroyer. Which means I have to be careful when dealing with torpedoes. I know he's at the C cap point, I just don't know where. My team manages to secure the D cap point, but if you look at this, we have 2 battleships at D. And I'm the only one in a position to defend or contest C or B. And the enemy team still way up on points. But we're fairly equal as far as ships go, with the exception of the fact that the enemy team has 2 destroyers. And at this stage in the game, usually the team with the destroyer advantage wins. Why do they win? Well, all the destroyers have to do is not shoot at things, stay completely undetected, and just cap. But speaking of being detected, there is the enemy destroyer. He has ventured into not only my secondary range, but visual range. So I have him flagged for secondaries, and he's fired off a set of torpedoes. And I'm fairly confident that I should be safe from additional torpedoes, but I'm going to turn just in case, because I don't need any additional surprises. And sure enough, he had the torpedo reload consumable, so that turn saved my bacon. Managed to secure yet another kill. There is my 4th kill in the game. Almost a Kraken. And with that enemy destroyer down, I now know that C is completely wide open for me. So I'm going to go ahead and push into the C cap point and actually finally cap. The enemy team is capping B, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the Colorado capping. Though it's probable that the Boiskavika is also capping with that Colorado. We have our friendly Amagi, who's pushed around the side of the island behind D, and he's heading up on the side which we spawned, that south side, towards the B cap point. Our other friendly battleship, the North Carolina, is still hiding back at D. I thought initially he might try to come down the channel, but it looks like he decided that no, instead he was going to go ahead and go all the way around the north side of the island. Having his guns out of the battle for as long as that's going to cause really didn't help the diciness of our situation. Now, if you look at the scores, Both teams have 2 caps, but if you look at the amount of time left on the clock, there's not enough time for us to contest and cap B. The enemy team is up on points, but they're not up by all that much. We're only about 100 points different. This is about the point that I realized. We have to get a kill to win. There's not enough time to cap and cover that 100 points difference. Especially if we run the risk of losing one of our ships to that enemy destroyer. Because remember, the Boiskavika can just barely stealth torp if it's got that concealment expert and the standard camo. It's also an excellent gunboat, so it can just sit outside of detectability range and continue spamming you with high explosive until you burn to death. Now I get my ship turned around the opposite direction because I initially thought that Colorado might not want to deal with the Amagi. And because I'm not detected, I figured he probably wouldn't expect me to come up from behind him. So I decided that's what I was going to do. However, that didn't quite work out, as the Colorado decided, rather than turning around and coming back this direction, he was going to sit bow on and just reverse slowly. Technically, at this point, all of the enemy team has to do is stay alive. If either of them dies, they're going to lose. If both of them survive just that extra few minutes, then my team will lose. Friendly battleship, the North Carolina, does finally manage to get his ass all the way around the islands back over there, but I'm kind of looking at him like, is he hiding back there? What the hell is he doing? I understand he doesn't have a lot of health, but we really need his guns. So this is a little bit annoying, but whatever. I'm going to go in and I'm going to push. At this kind of point in the battle, screw kill death, I need to get in there and provide as much assistance as possible. The Colorado is about half health, and since he's the only one currently detected, and as you can see the smokescreen off in the distance there tells me that the Boiskavika is back in that smokescreen. Since the Colorado's the only one I can see and shoot at, the Colorado's the one that's earned the focus of my attention. Now he is backing up, but it looks like he's just starting to move forward, so I'm going to push in here. I'm going to fire torpedoes. With any luck, I can catch him with one torpedo, given his low health, would probably be enough to finish him off. There's not a lot of time left, so while I'm pushing up, I'm also going to push into the cap and contest it so they cannot get those points. And that is also going to help our points difference. Again, there's not much points difference, only about 100, so any little bit that can happen, and we're less than a minute away, and my torpedo runs out of steam right before it hits that ship. Given how low health he is, that could have been it. I managed to set a fire. The North Carolina firing high explosive also manages to set a fire. The Colorado has decided he's going to shoot at me. Don't know why, but that was his decision. I get torpedoes off again. This Colorado is turning hard broadside on to that Amagi. Come on, we've got to kill him. There's not a lot of time left. That Colorado, by the way, is started to repair his HP, so every time we whittle him down, he gains a little bit more. There's a more high explosive in, and we managed to kill him. Yes, last second kill. And that kill goes to the North Carolina for firing high explosive and setting him on fire. High caliber and a double strike, 151,000 damage. Only 4 kills, didn't manage to secure the kill on the Colorado, but hey, you know what? What an interesting battle right there at the very end with a literal last second kill to win it. Top of the team for XP earned, well over 2,000 base XP. Anyway, folks, I hope you liked the video. That's it for today. And if you did like that video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, get early access to replays like this one first and foremost, so you can see what's upcoming or stuff that doesn't quite make it to YouTube, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon, which will give you access to all of these replay files and screenshots. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to submit to me to see on my channel, you can do so by sending it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships, among other games, live on Sundays, you can do so by following my Twitch channel. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.